Hey, what up there, my global nobles? How's it going there, my YouTube nation? So, this video called Dear Fat People by Nicole Arbour. Now, Nicole Arbour has been around the block for quite some time. She's actually been on YouTube for quite many years and decided to come out with some pretty harsh videos. This one actually directing to the fat people. Now, I really don't want to get into the numbers and all that stuff, but all of the stuff that she says is pretty much a little bit wrong. I do make sense that fat shaming is new. Fat shaming is pretty much new. I've never actually heard about it in the 1980s, 1990s, but somewhere in the millenniums, 2010, I guess that's where fat shaming or fat, whatever you might want to call it, started coming into light. But then again, there are other responses on the internet. One big one is Boogie2988 and Stevie's Vlogs and Nabiela Noor. She's also one that's actually brings up all of them. They all bring up good points and good facts. But when it comes to throwing out comedians and stuff like that, George Carlin, Sam Kinison, Richard Pryor, all this stuff really kind of has nothing to do with it. If anything, you could look at Don Rickles, you could look at Bruce. Those were the people who actually made fun of fat people and sort of like in generalized that they had the right to because they were a little bit overweight on their size. But one of the biggest ones is Louis Anderson. You guys got to look at Louis Anderson as one of the huge advocates for people who are overweight. He was actually most of the times making fun of himself on his overweightness to the point that yes, he did lose a huge amount of weight, but then again, he's also advocating to make people aware that overweight and being obese is not really the norm. It's not really cool. Um, I know there are a lot of factors that play into this: depression, stress, anxiety. As I suffered as one, depression, anxiety, a lot of stress. And, to be quite frank, I wasn't really much on a social fact, me throwing my videos out there. This is something new because one thing's for sure, I did look overweight. I did used to weigh 190 pounds, maybe close to 200 pounds at one point in my life. But then once I started seeing stretch marks on my skin, I started making drastic changes because one thing's for sure, this is not something that's really healthy. But again, this is not something that's really normal. I know a lot of people would not want to see me with a whole bunch of stretch marks and breathing really heavily. But again, it's something that actually has grown since 2010. Now, the numbers that Nicole Arbour throws out as 35% of, the population, no, it's more of a 76% that there is an obesity problem. Now, if you want to look at the norm, yes, obesity normal rate is at a 36%, but to be quite honest, to real true facts, 78% is the highest that we are right now. And this really wasn't you know, an issue back in 1980s, 1990s. I've never heard of fat shaming, never heard of fat doing this and this and that, I've heard fat jokes and I heard fat things and stuff like that, but they came from fat comedians who actually did, suffer their own personal tribulations when it came to their life and their weight. Now, this really shouldn't get to your head. Obesity is not really a disease. If that was true, I should be still fat because my little brother, who's actually a little bit more overweight, he's actually a 160 pounds overweight for his size and age and stuff like that. That should be passing on to me and stuff, figuring. But it's not the case. It's not really true. It's more of the TV. I blame TV, social medias, all this stuff, feeding you all this crap, commercials, saying, "Hey, man, you should eat the new fries, you should eat the new burgers that came out and stuff like that." That's who I really blame. Most of the society that's actually feeding you this crap, even when it comes to the point where, you know, I don't really know. There's people on YouTube that review like fries, burgers, and stuff like that, and it's really deceiving. I blame that as the assisted suicide to this nation's obesity rate, that these commercials, these things that you see on the TV are preempting you to be like, damn, that sounds good, that sounds tasty. I'm feeling a little bit depressed of my job today, so I think I might want to go out and get the new fat Angus burgers that McDonald's has or whatever. That's pretty much who I blame in society and today in the world today. But to be quite frank, I have a friend who, due to the back injury, had gotten a little bit overweight. He's actually maybe 280 pounds overweight. And I look at him and be like, yo, we used to be the same size. Where did you go wrong? I understand that you hardly can get up, daily. Now people are bringing you food, deliveries, and stuff like that. You can't work, you can't bike ride. But to be quite, to be honest, I have that right to tell him that because he's a close friend of mine. And he's a friend that I do not want to see pass away so soon. You have to take into matter that when it comes to obesity and being overweight, you have to look at your personal close friends, your family. You got to ask them, I want your opinion. Does my personal appearance affect you? If it does, please let me know. If they say no, then in a way, they're not really much being true to you. But if they spew out saying that, yes, your personal appearance is pretty much affecting me because I don't know whether or not I'm going to see you tomorrow, the next month, the next year, the next millennium, for that matter. I don't know if I'm going to have kids and you're going to have kids and we're going to see them grow up together because we've been best friends for like so many years that, eventually we want little Timmy to go out with Bobby and hit the baseball or do something, but we can't because Bobby's dad passed away due to a clotted artery or a brain embolism popping in or a heart attack. And I don't know. You truly have to take those into mind and really take into deep thought that what Nicole Arbour said is not really something that you should take offense, but more take into note. Because all of this stuff is mental. You guys are letting this get into your brain. You guys are letting it affect you so bad that you have to come out with response videos saying that how this is wrong. And yes, it is wrong. It is totally wrong for Nicole Arbour to come out and generalize fat shaming as something that should be done because there is too many fat people in the United States. It's more of a, Nicole, you should have just stuck to whoever you know that is fat. Speak your opinion to them. You know, say what you want to say to them, but to post it up on YouTube and act like this is something that the public really wants to hear is not right. Um, I've gone through it myself. Again, I suffer from stress, anxiety issues, depression, freaking a whole bunch of other things that are not on a Richter scale, but I truly would not want to hear a stranger on the internet and then publicize all these category unknown issues that a human can withstand or can go through and then say, that's wrong, you're wrong, you are wrong. No, it's more of, Nicole, you are wrong. You politically correct as a keyboard warrior. Well, actually, you're not a keyboard warrior. You're more of a video warrior at this point because you're telling fat people that what they are doing is wrong. It's more of a, they should take into mind that what they're doing is wrong. You telling them is no right of yours to do. It's more of a self personal thought. As I myself used to be overweight, I made a change because it was my change. I made it. Not Nicole Arbour, not my family, not my friends. I made that change. So to be there for everybody who's been, a little hefty and stuff like that, I feel you guys. I stay strong with you. I do think that this is wrong, but again, just think of it that she cares for you. Apart from drinking Starbucks looking at the white luxury life, she cares for you. Just think of that. Say, this is not a hate video. This is more of a, aw, I thank you. You love me. That's it. You love my chubbiness. You love my overweightness. You love my man breasts. You love my chins. You love my love handles, my flabby arms. You love that. You just love it that you had to make a video of me. It's great. And I do thank you for watching. Do let me know what you guys think. I made a whole bunch of other these response videos. I made 3 of them, 12 minutes long. This is one that I try to keep short and simple. Yeah.